Mabuhay! This is John Chris de la Peña, and in today's video, we are going to study about Galileo Galilei and his contribution to science and technology. At the end of this video, you will be able to know and understand Galileo Galilei's journey as a scientist, emphasize some of the major facts about Galileo's life, learn and appreciate Galileo's contribution to science and technology, classify similarities and differences of his contribution and its progress from the other scientists. Lastly, recognize the impact of such contributions to science and technology today. Galileo Galilei was an Italian scientist, a father of modern science, and also the father of modern astronomy. He is also recognized as the father of modern physics. He is a medical student, but later on graduated as a mathematician. After that, he fell in love with geometry and opened the world about the working of solar system and astronomy. He is also the founder of observational astronomy, modern physics, and scientific method.
Mabuhay! This is Venus Gara, and I'm gonna present to you a little background of Galileo Galilei. Let's emphasize, he is born in Pisa, Italy on the 15th of February 1564. He died on the 8th of January 1642. Galileo claimed to have discovered sunspots and that the sun rotates. His abrasive and outspoken criticism of Aristotelian philosophy and his obvious acceptance of the Copernican worldview. Galileo did not invent the telescope. The first person to apply for a patent for a telescope was a Dutch eyeglass maker named Hans Lippershey or Lippershey in 1608. Galileo refused to believe Kepler's theory that the moon caused the tides, instead believing it was due to the nature of the Earth's rotation, helping prove that even the smartest people can make mistakes.
Mabuhay! I am Mika de las Reyes and we will discuss about Galileo Galilei. But first, let's emphasize. The middle finger of Galilei's right hand has been exhibited at the Museo Galileo in Florence, Italy. Next, Galileo didn't have trouble with the church for the first two-thirds of his life. It was only later, when a few disgruntled conservative professors began to speak out against Galileo, that things started to go downhill. Most famous astronomical discoveries about Galileo Galilei, the characteristic of the moon, Venus phases, 4 of Jupiter's moon, the Localisto, Europa, and Ganymede, and also the sunspot.
Mabuhay! Good morning everyone. I am Nicole Anlamak to report Galileo Galilei's contribution to science and technology. Here are some of the famous contributions of Galileo Galilei. First, let us all tackle Galileo's contribution in terms of astronomy, which is the refracting telescope. Late in 1609, Galileo noticed that the moon's surface is not smooth, and in 1610, he noticed Jupiter's 4 largest moons, and he cited Saturn even though he mistakenly believed that planets ring to be 2 additional planets, as well as the Venus phases, which support and serve as evidence of heliocentric theory. Also, he cited Neptune in 1612 and noticed its speed. Galileo was part of a small group of astronomers who turned telescope towards the heaven. The reason why Galileo invented ang telescope is para maobserbahan at mailarawan ang moons of Jupiter, the rings of Saturn, and phases of Venus, pati na rin ang mga sunspot at ilang bahagi ng buwan, which serve as an support and evidence of heliocentric theory. Let us all move on to physics, which is the experiment in motion. One of Galileo's most important contributions to physics is the law of falling bodies. It asserts that regardless of weight or shape, objects fall with the same speed. Galileo showed that force causes acceleration, and the force of gravity, which causes all the bodies to move downward in constant force. Galileo claimed that force causes acceleration is inseparable from his claim that the bodies do not require a cause to continue the movement. This principle is called the principle of inertia. Lastly, engineering. As opposed to pure physics, Galileo made a number of contributions to what is now known as engineering. Galileo developed an improved military and geometric compass for use by gunners and surveyors beyond 1595 and 1598. In 1598, Galileo started selling a military and geometric compass of his own design, though the profits were small. Galileo compass also known as a sector and had several uses.
Hi, good morning everyone. This is Renette Wabel and I will be discussing about the differences and similarities of solar system discoveries according to the four people, including Galileo Galilei. So let's start off with Aristotle. His model was called geocentric model. Any theory of the structure of the solar system or the universe in which Earth is assumed to be at the center of it all. So sa madalit salita po, according to Aristotle model, ang Earth daw po ay nasa gitna at ang rest of the solar system ay umiikot around the Earth, including the Sun and the Moon. Next in the line was Nicolaus Copernicus. He argued that the Earth lay at the center of the universe. The view also held by the most ancient philosophers and biblical writers. So, he believed that the Earth or the other celestial bodies sat stationary and motionless. So, ibig sabihin nito na ang Sun and Moon ang naikot sa buong solar system. And the third people or scientist is Tycho Brahe. So, the Tychonic system. Earth is at the center of the universe. The Moon, the Sun, and the stars orbit the Earth, and the 5 planets orbit the Sun. So, tinutukoy dito na yung 5 planets, which is the Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, ay iniikutan ang Sun. At sa kabilang banda naman, ay ang Moon and Sun at stars naman ang umiikot around the Earth. And last is Galileo Galilei. So, heliocentric model was originally came from Nicolaus Copernicus. Sinuportahan lang po talaga ni Galileo Galilei ang observation ni Nicolaus Copernicus about the heliocentric model na ang sun daw po talaga ay nasa gitna ng solar system. So, now let's proceed to the Galileo Galilei's perspective about the solar system discovery. So, the discoveries that Galileo made using his telescope helped to prove that the sun was the center of the solar system and not the Earth. Using his telescope, Galileo Galilei po ang nag-improve or siya po yung nag-upgrade para po magamit po niya ito sa kanya pong pag-discover about the solar system. At yun po yung may pinakamalaking evidence na ang Earth po talaga ay hindi nasa center ng solar system, which is the Sun is at the center of the solar system.
Mabuhay! This is Dan Oracion, and now let us talk about the impact of such contribution to science and technology. Finally, his discoveries with the telescope revolutionized astronomy and paved the way for the acceptance of the Copernican heliocentric system. This paved the way for further research and exploration in science and helped usher in the modern world that we see today.
Thank you so much for listening. We hope that you learned a lot from the life of Galileo Galilei.